Welcome back to EMU Hockey Check. It's time now to look back at last weekend and see if the Eastern Eagles could keep their streak going. First, it was the University of Michigan Ann Arbor's Division II ACHA team. The Eagles opened the second semester against University of Michigan Ann Arbor's ACHA Division II team. It only took 17 seconds for the Wolverines to get on the scoreboard.
No pulling him whatsoever here tonight, as he's been pulled a couple times.
Here's a shot out in front, and they score. Michigan right at the hash marks.
That was the only scoring in the first, and EMU looked very rusty after a one-month hiatus. Ann Arbor continued to put the heat on in the second, scoring the next two goals and putting Eastern behind 3-0.
Luongo for the Wolverines, move it up over the blue line. Here's a shot, and they score. They'll get it as far as Jordan Keller, and he'll skate it up over the blue line. Here's a shot, and they score.
Then at the 8:13 mark, the Eagles opened their scoring with the help of a familiar face from the past, number 21, Ryan McCormick.
And we've also missed a couple opportunities.
Here's Hattie inside the U of M goal line. Bring it out in front, and they score!
With just 3:21 left in the second, Joe Schweiger began his night with the help of Michael Cook and Joe Patricius.
The play will resume. 3-1 our score. Here's a chance, and they score!
That drew the Eagles within one, but with 28 seconds left on the clock, the Wolverines struck back to gain a 2-goal lead.
He's on inside the neutral zone.
And look at
the
that,
line change, and
too.
back out in front. It's going to be Mark Silverman who will give University of Michigan once again the 2-goal lead.
Then 11 seconds later, former EMU player Brad Kirch helped the Eagles by taking a cross-check penalty. With that man advantage, it only took Eastern's Joachim Nilsson a few seconds to find the back of the net and bring EMU within one goal again.
That's a big goal, too. I mean, you're only one goal down. You've
putting it out in front, it's Nilsson, he scores!
Ending the period trailing 4-3, but scoring in the final seconds gave the Eagles the boost they needed going into the third, and Joe Schweiger would continue his strong play, scoring his second of the game.
Here comes Schweiger now. Here's a break. Schweiger shoots, scores! Tying the game 3 minutes and 48 seconds into the third period.
Then near the halfway point of the period, another returning Eagle, Aaron Dees, put his team ahead.
Up over the blue line comes Schweiger with great speed, holding on to it, putting it out in front, he scores! Aaron Dietz caught that pass.
But Ann Arbor wasn't through yet, and number 23, Mark Silverman, evened the score.
There weren't enough shots being taken.
Yeah.
Here's an opportunity, they shoot and they score! It's Mark Silverman tying the game for the Wolverines.
The Eagles were determined to leave with a win, though, and Joe Schweiger made sure to do his part by adding his third goal of the night for a hat trick.
Chornaby up over the Michigan blue line. Back over to Schweiger. Schweiger still out in front, getting a shot. He scores!
Then with just 4:43 left, Ann Arbor's Steve Luongo evened the score again.
By the Wolverines. They'll find their way to Rob Cupid. Couple of big saves by Cupid. Play still loose. Back out to the blue line it goes. Sent right back in. Another big save by Cupid. Now it'll bounce back into the corner to the far right of Cupid. And out in front it goes. Here's another shot. They score!
That left the fans biting their nails and wondering if this would be another one of those last-minute disappointments for the Eagles. But Joe Schweiger had something to say about that and scored the game winner with 2:22 left.
Play continues on inside the Wolverine zone. At the blue line is John Sutton. He'll be held onto and controlled by Schweiger, however, and he shoots and he scores! Joe Schweiger.
I mean, he did that all by himself. He was stuck in the corner.
Here with the number one star of Friday night's game, Joe Schweiger. Joe, 6 points tonight, 4 goals, and 2 assists. When was the last time you had 4 goals? Do you remember?
Last year, I think it was against Central Michigan.
Okay, so not that long ago then.
Yeah.
How did it feel out there? Take me through the game just for yourself, as far as the first period, second period. Did you just feel more energy as the game went on, or?
Well, I felt pretty good all game. I mean, we've had a pretty long break here, so I was pretty excited to get back out there and start playing again. So.
A little rusty in the first for the team, do you think?
Yeah, a little bit rusty. We need to get our legs together and start moving, but we started moving the puck better and got some opportunities on the power play, and we just capitalized, so worked out good.
Were you surprised they were taking so many penalties after they played such a good first period?
Yeah, it was surprising. I mean, well, the ref, he was calling penalties both ways pretty much, but I think that we played through it and we came out on top, so.
How about the one shot in the third period from the kind of from the side, from a bad angle? Was that intentionally a shot, or were you trying to pass it?
See, I was talking about that with Ian. That was actually a pass back over to Ian. I think it got deflected and went 5-hole. Really? So, yeah.
It was a nice goal.
Yeah.
Turned out to be a highlight reel goal.
Yeah, it was pretty lucky.
What do you expect tomorrow night from Indiana University?
I don't think I've ever played them, so I'm not really sure about their team. So hopefully we just come out there tomorrow and keep working hard and come out with another win.
Here with Chad Davis. Chad, welcome to the second semester of EMU hockey. Nice way to start with a win against University of Michigan Ann Arbor.
Yeah, you know, it's a new half, but sometimes things don't change. Another go down by 3, you know, tie it back up and kind of play catch up the rest of the game. And we got the lead and ended up 7-6 in the end. So,
is there anything special you told the team in any of the intermissions to get them going, especially in the third period? Third period was obviously the best period for the guys, and the first period was obviously the worst.
We felt some momentum going into the third. We were still down a goal, 4-3, but we've been in that situation so many times this year that the guys, they don't get too tense about it, and we just said, hey, let's continue what we did last semester against U of M Dearborn with the win, and they came out and did that.
And obviously, what about the play of Joe Schweiger? It just seems like you can never count him out. He always steps up to the plate when you need him the most, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's been consistent for us all year, and every night it's the same. So he's a hard worker. He's got a good work ethic, and you know, that goes a long way. Actually, tried calling him off on one of the power plays. He didn't hear me, and he went out and he scored. So. No, he's just been a great player for us all year, and he's going to continue to do the same this half for us.
Were you surprised that Michigan came out so strong in this first period? Then in the second period, they ended up taking 7 of the 8 penalties in the period. In fact, one of our penalty was offsetting to theirs, so we actually had, I think, 6 power plays. Were you surprised that they kind of fell apart in the second?
You know, we had a lot of pressure on them in the first period. I thought their goalie played real well, and you know, with all that pressure, they ended up hooking and holding you. And it's kind of what we were preaching on the bench is, you know, just be patient, don't get frustrated, and we'll get some chances.
Saturday night, the Eagles faced off against Indiana University, Pennsylvania's Crimson Hawks, a team that Eastern doesn't play very often. After a big finish in the previous night's game against UM Ann Arbor, Coach Davis was looking for his players to keep the momentum going. It took less than 2 minutes for Eastern to get their first shot on goal, which found its way into the net with the help of John Schultz.
Up to the blue line, they get held up by Matt Hattie, gets it out in front for Schultz, scores!
Before the period was over, the Eagles would make it a 2-0 score when John Sutton scored from Joe Schweiger on the power play.
Joachim Nielsen now moving back in toward the Hawk zone. Hit on the goal, they shoot and they score!
The second began much like the first when Ian Chornaby made it 3-0 with a power play goal.
Yeah, but I can assume that they're going to want at least one more goal before they put things to rest tonight. Play continues out in front, and they do it. They score.
The Crimson Hawks would finally get on the scoreboard at the 5:40 mark of the second with an unassisted goal by number 23, Joe Ford.
And this time it's going to be Joe Ford with a shot, and he scores.
IUP then found themselves in the penalty box again for tripping, and EMU newcomer Jeremy Osborne would score his first career goal as an Eagle.
Thus the Saturday evening, and they shoot and they score! It's going to be Jeremy Osborne.
That ended the second with the Eagles ahead 4-1 and feeling confident of their strong dominance over the Crimson Hawks. In the third, the Eagles' special teams would continue to shine as Joachim Nielsen would find the net with the help of Joe Schweiger.
So skating it right back up toward their zone of Indiana University is Joe Schweiger putting it out in front for Joachim Nielsen, and he scores!
At that point, the game was pretty much out of reach for IUP, but they did manage to score one more goal, a power play, with 32 seconds left.
That one deflecting just a bit wide. Here's another opportunity, and they score!
Eastern's special teams were outstanding in Saturday's game, scoring 4 times on 7 power plays and killing 5 of 6 shorthanded situations. The win gave the Eagles their first 3-game win streak of the season. We're here with EMU captain Joachim Nielsen. Joachim, congrats on the 2 wins to start the second semester. Any reflection on this weekend?
Just felt good to finally get a winning streak going here. We're 3 wins, so it feels good. No, I thought we played well. A little rough start last night, but we came through. So.
Did you say anything to the team before today's game? Because sitting in the stands, today's team looked so much different than yesterday's team.
Yeah, well, I think everybody kind of just, you know, knew what they had to do, and you know, they decided to do it by themselves instead of me saying something or that matter anybody else saying anything. You know, I think enough's been said in the locker room in the past here in the last semester, and so you know, we're ready to come out and keep going now. So.